but one of the goals was to get punched in the face, in a sense,
Yeah.
because when you, as David Goggins would describe, when you're comfortable, your mind starts becoming a little weak. And if you can do things that push yourself and expand those boundaries, I mean, it's kind of like it's self-improvement, but it's also like self-discovery.
Totally.
And before I woke up at 5 a.m. every day, I could tell you, like, I would say, I'm not the type of person that can function without sleep. And then I read his book, and I did that. And I realized that I would go to bed with the mindset, if I don't get enough sleep tomorrow, day's over. Like, I won't be able to function. And I was able to change my mindset about sleep. And there were some days I got 5 hours of sleep because I'd stay up late because I'm a college student. But every single day at 5 a.m., I'd get up.
It's time to shop and be inspired with Inspired Tees Company. Online at inspiredtsco.myshopify.com. Whether you're looking for unique jewelry, fun tees, garden signs, beach towels, home goods, crafts, beauty, DIY items, Inspired Tees Company has it all. Visit their website, read the articles about them on Fox, NBC, and CBS. And right now, enjoy 35% off through July 4th with 4th of July t-shirts for both men and women. Get ready for summer fun by shopping with the Inspired Tees Company. Online at inspiredtsco.myshopify.com. Share the store on all of your social media so your friends can discover the Inspired Tees Company too. inspiredtsco.myshopify.com.
Eli, you're the founder of Vision Thrive. Man, I so appreciate you taking time out of your day to join me today. Man, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. I love being here.
Awesome. I like to go back with my guests. Like, where did you grow up? What was childhood like for you?
I grew up in Minnesota.
Okay.
So I'm living in California right now. I'm actually in college at Chapman University.
Nice.
Okay. But I grew up in Minnesota. And besides the past year, I've lived in Minnesota my entire life.
Okay. That's awesome, man. Like, I mean, what about being an entrepreneur really motivated you to go in that direction? Because it's tough, man. People don't like to go that route. Like, what was it that motivated you to go that direction?
Right. Well, being an entrepreneur and honestly everything about the decision was based around me as an entrepreneur. In high school, I worked nonstop, not on school, because as the typical entrepreneur, I will tell you that, like, I don't let schooling interfere with my education.
Yeah.
But I had lots and lots of friends out in California from my business. So I'm not talking about people my age, but I'm talking about different influencers that I connected with, and different business people that I wanted to surround myself with.
Right on. Right. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh yeah. So when I was deciding, and a lot of people in my position don't go to college. I'm not saying I have all the money and I can just, live in vacation now, but a lot of people that pursue the entrepreneur route skip college. But and there's some truth to that. I see a lot of value in not going to college. And so I'm not on the side where everyone has to go to college. But I think for me, I want to do I think in the future I might want to be a CEO of a really large company. And so if I want to be in that position, going to college is something that is going to help me a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think if that's the direction that you're being like called to or you're passionate about, man, I think that's where the college degree definitely comes into play there. And then over at, Vision Thrive, you guys do web development, you do e-com, you do app development, and much more. And you mentioned that Vision Thrive started really as this idea, and then obviously you took action to make that what it is today. Like, how did Vision Thrive come together? What were the fears and roadblocks that you ran into along the way?
Right before I was doing websites and everything you just described, I was actually doing Facebook marketing for restaurants.
Oh, nice.
And I took one of those online courses that I actually happened to like. And I ended up cold calling restaurants all summer. And I got a few meetings, and I actually landed a restaurant client in my area. from all those meetings. And at that time, I was a senior in high school, or this was the summer before I was a senior in high school. And I had that client through my senior year. And first of all, amazing experience just from learning how to sell with cold calling.
Sure. Oh, it's tough, man.
and and getting those meetings uh as about, a person about to be in a senior year without any. I learned how to do Facebook ads for my course, but I hadn't had a thorough experience in it.
Mm.
So I was building up this restaurant business that I started, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I still had my one client, but I had other prospects. And obviously the restaurant I worked with shut down. They're not interested in running Facebook ads. And so for a while, everything kind of just came to a halt.
Right.
But then I pivoted, and I was able to pivot because I met someone that did websites. And I can get into that a little bit. But since pivoting, as you probably could imagine, during COVID, everyone who wasn't online needed to be online.
Yeah.
And so what started out as like a real tragedy to my business was an amazing platform to launch, Vision Thrive, which is much bigger.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good, dude. I mean, I love, like, as entrepreneurs, I like to talk to, because my other podcast is focused on MMA fighters, and I ask them, like, why do you want to get punched in the face? But as entrepreneurs, like, I'm like, why do we want to get punched in the face? Hopefully not physically, but virtually, we're getting punched in the nose, punched in the face with all the no's and rejections and cold calling, man. Like, that's a crazy tough job. I've done that for many years, dude. And being a senior in high school too, and doing that, like, that's crazy, man, that you did that. And that's awesome that you were able to be successful at it and land those gigs, man. And then being able to pivot is so important as an entrepreneur, man, to just make those adjustments and tweaks, man, when you run into those roadblocks, man. So that's awesome. Very proud of you, dude. That's freaking killer, dude.
I appreciate that. I'll talk about getting punched in the face virtually.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy. Totally. I don't know if are you aware of David Goggins?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I read his book at the start of quarantine, and it ended up putting me on a crazy path where I just started running. Like, now I'm trying to run like him.
Yeah.
And I was able to run 100 miles in 1 month. I built myself up to that point in the summer.
Yeah.
And then actually I encountered a little bit of an overuse injury, so I had to stop. But then I kind of did something else in a David Goggins fashion, which was in December. You know Jocko Willink?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I read his book.
Yes.
And then I woke up at 5 a.m. every day in December. And the point of that was, sure, it helped with my productivity and my morning routine and everything. But one of the goals was to get punched in the face, in a sense.
Yeah.
Because when you, as David Goggins would describe, when you're comfortable, your mind starts becoming a little weak. And if you can do things that push yourself and expand those boundaries, I mean, it's kind of like it's self-improvement, but it's also like self-discovery.
Totally.
And before I woke up at 5 a.m. every day, I could tell you, like, I would say, I'm not the type of person that can function without sleep. And then I read his book, and I did that. And I realized that I would go to bed with the mindset, if I don't get enough sleep tomorrow, day's over. Like, I won't be able to function. And I was able to change my mindset about sleep. And there were some days I got 5 hours of sleep because I'd stay up late because I'm a college student. But every single day at 5 a.m. I'd get up. And it taught me a lot. And now for this meeting, I've actually fallen into a little bit of bad habit of waking up at like 10 a.m. every day.
Okay.
But today I woke up at like 7 a.m.
Okay.
And switching my sleeping schedule, just going back 3 hours, it's so much easier having that experience.
Yeah, I'm big on morning routines, man. I'm myself. I'm up at 4 a.m. 6 days a week, man. And,
really?
And I love it. I've been doing it for probably 10 years. And, and I get up, and like, if I open my eyes, there's win number 1. And if I jump out of bed and I make my bed, there's win number 2. So I can get 2 wins out of the way in 15 seconds, man. And that just kind of helps set the tone for the day. And man, I get upstairs and I've got a big vision wall and I go through everything that's on my wall. And then I jump over here and I spend time in prayer for me personally and, kick on some worship music. And then it's time for editing and time for podcasts and reaching out to guests and things like that, man. And so I love the morning routines, man. I'm so big on that. And the fact that you were able to do it at 5, man, I think that's killer. And it almost shocks your body. Like if you're not used to it, you're like, man, I'm going to go into it. And people ask me all the time, like, why the heck do you get up before him? Well, my thing is like my desire to be successful is bigger than my desire to sleep, period. Like, and I'm usually asleep by 9 or 9:30. So it's not like I'm a big party animal, right? But I usually do like 4 a.m., man. That's my sweet spot. Cause I can get up and I can have my personal time with myself before I start. I still work a full 9 to 5, right? So I get up and I do that before I go to that. And then it's family time and I'm not cutting into that family time. So that early morning is so important, man.
I love that routine you just described. How long have you been doing that for?
I got really serious. Well, so I've been waking up at 4 a.m. for probably 10 years, but I got really serious about the mental side of it and the vision wall thing just in the last couple of years. And it's really just taken my business and my personal development to a massive, hockey stick. And, a thing on my wall, like you mentioned, like we're always trying to adapt and get better. And like a thing I have on my wall from Ed Milet, constant and never ending improvement. And, Ed Milet's one of those guys that I follow. And I'm like,
Yes.
That guy is the guy that is the reason that this show is today, because I was inspired by him to launch this podcast, man. And so, yeah, it's awesome, man.
Nobody wakes up at 4 a.m. to have an unproductive day or scroll Instagram.
Right. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I had a guy that I've talked to a couple times, not on my show. Hopefully we'll get him here soon, but Craig Ballantyne, he wrote a book called The Perfect Day Formula. And he talks about setting the tone of your day the night before you go to bed. And so like before you go to bed, you write your to-do list so that when you get up to the office in the morning, you're not like scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, you know exactly what you got to do. And he calls it his magic hour. And he literally takes his phone and puts it in a drawer in airplane mode on the other side of the house. And he spends like an hour and a half just pounding away what he needs to do. And then at that point, he'll go grab his phone and maybe respond to a couple of emails, and then it's back to work. And so like I love it because I write a to-do list every night before I go to bed of like, okay, when I get up in the morning, I got to do this. It kind of helps set that tone.
Wow. Yeah, I love that.
I believe action is the foundation of success. With strategic action, your vision can become a thriving reality. However, in today's modern age, you will need world-class digital infrastructure designed around the goal of your business. At Vision Thrive, we specialize in creating websites, e-commerce sites, and mobile apps for your business. When you work with us, we have a no questions asked refund policy, so you're guaranteed to like what you see. If you're interested, please visit visionthrive.com. That's VISIONTHRIVE.com. Look, this is perfect for every entrepreneur and MMA fighter out there. Again, take a look at visionthrive.com. When people decide that they want to work with you, they have to go through an application process. In most businesses, they just open the door to anyone. But I like that you do this. But what is the reason behind having that application to work with you?
Yes. So the application, and as you probably saw, it's such a small form that the real application is a phone call.
Yeah.
I offer certain services, the apps, the websites, and the first phone call isn't about selling. It's about seeing if what I provide is a good fit for the person.
Yeah.
And so there's some things I can't do. And even if I open my door towards everyone, I wouldn't be able to sell that anyways.
Right.
For example, in the app space, I do a lot in that space, and the people that I work with, they say that they get quoted like $50,000 for something simple that they wanted to build, and I'd be able to do it for like 10% of that price.
Wow.
And then like a week or two. But some people that want more complex apps, and I've dealt with this, I simply I don't have that ability.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, when you do get folks that have made it through the application process, what is that journey that you take them through to kind of put their vision in place?
Amazing. Everything I do is very, very custom. I can tell you, for example, people have came to me and they wanted to start a clothing brand. And so that would go under like the e-commerce section of what I do. But all they need is that vision to start this clothing brand. Like a lot of people, they'll say like, it's going to be called this is what it's going to look like. and I can I can help them with everything from their logo, the manufacturer of the clothing. I'm a big proponent, especially with the small entrepreneurs starting off, of it's called a print on demand clothing, because the number one killer of clothing brands is inventory.
Totally.
And so print on demand, it allows them to, there's I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's like, it's like a factory in the United States that has all their clothes. Um, and if they have a design like a logo right here, someone orders their shirt, it literally gets created with that logo in this factory and sent directly to their door. That way, this entrepreneur, if they post a viral video and all of a sudden they get 5,000 orders, they can get all 5,000 orders shipped without any problem. But if they only get 10 orders, they're not stuck with a lot of inventory and costs that should be going towards marketing. Uh, so with that, I can do everything from, I can take them simply from idea to launched and they're ready to sell online.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. And yeah, my other business, Top Rated May, I started in 2012 as an apparel company and made a lot of business mistakes. Number one killer, I overbought inventory and
Really?
ended up donating probably 80 shirts to Hurricane Katrina victims back in the day, man. But like, it started, Top Rated May started as an apparel company. And then in 2017, I launched that podcast. But yeah, I totally get it, man. The print on demand is the way to go. I actually ended up buying my own heat press and hat press, and I do all that stuff on my own now. But when I first started, it was like spending so much money on inventory, man. It's just a craziness out there. I love that you guys offer this no risk, full refund, no questions asked policy. It seems pretty risky at times to do that, but why is it so important for you to offer this?
Thank you. And a lot of, there's kind of a perception about different marketing agencies that they're there just to take your money.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly a marketing agency per se, but if I was to build a website and the client didn't like it at all, or it was a terrible website, I wouldn't force that website on the person and keep their money. And so with the no questions asked, it revolves around, if you don't like your website or you don't want your app or website or e-commerce site, even if I've done all the work, after you've seen it, you don't have, you can get, if you've paid me money, you can have it all back. And I think that gives people a lot of confidence when they start out, because they have this idea in their vision, and some people are they're very particular about what they want, and so for that reason they're scared to have other people work on it. So when I offer that, and I've never had to give anyone a refund,
Love it.
It gives people confidence, and I include that in every deal I do.
I love it, man. Yeah, exactly. I agree, man. It does give people confidence that you're like, hey, man, I'll put this all on the line. I love that. You kind of touched base on this earlier, but entrepreneurs, we have to be so mentally strong to keep going, man, with all those no's that we're getting, rejections. But what things do you do on the mental side of things to stay motivated?
Absolutely. I love reading. I don't necessarily read for pleasure, but I mean, I enjoy the books like David Goggins, but I read because, uh, I don't know if you've ever seen like the Ty Lopez TED Talk about this, but if you could have David Goggins at your house and Jocko Willink at your house and all these other great people to help you on your journey, you would be really confident that you'd be successful. And so if you really think about it, you can have David Goggins at your house and you can have Jocko Willink right inside your room. It's just in the forms of books, and they put their knowledge in there. So I'm a huge fan of books, especially from, and if you're looking to go out and get a book, I love getting books from people that uh, might have just figured out one little secret, but they figured out something that I don't know. And I learned a lot from David Goggins and Jocko Willink. As you said, yeah, I'll let you go.
No, I was just going to say, man, that's awesome. But yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to go on and say a morning routine is amazing.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, I kind of fell out of my morning routine after I came back from college. But I'm actually going to get back into it. And having one consistently is huge for your day. I can tell you, if I started my day like you started your day, I would be even better and more prepared.
That's awesome. And the reason like I got so focused on is I came across Ed Milet's book, Max Out. If you haven't read that, man, you can get it for free if you just Google it.
Okay.
Ed Milet Max Out book free, and there's a link, and you just pay shipping. I think it's $7. It's like 95 pages. I've read it several times in one sitting, and it's an amazing book. It changed my life, dude, for sure. So definitely, I would recommend adding that to your list at some point, man.
Okay, I'll read that. I
Um,
appreciate the tip.
yeah, absolutely. What are you most excited about for 2021?
Wow. Well, right now, I'm going into a little bit of an expansion phase.
Okay.
I'm trying to attract just new business. From when I started, it really all came down to referrals, and I had different business people in my network, so I had people that I knew to start off with, and that I could pitch, and then but since then it's only been a referral based business, and so I'm really excited to right now I'm expanding into like the Google ad space and all those type of complex ads, and so I'm really excited to see where that'll take me.
I love it, dude. Where can folks connect and follow you or follow Vision Thrive?
Right. Well, you can go to Instagram and follow me like Vision Thrive.
Okay.
And then, or if you want to connect with me, the best place is my website, visionthrive.com. And as you said, there's an application page. It's just a few questions, but then we'll connect over a phone call. And whether you're an MMA fighter or an entrepreneur or someone that has a website or needs a website, you can just give me submit the application page and we'll see if what I do is a good fit for you, as I said.
Love it, dude. I wanted to transition to a couple fun questions here real quick. You mentioned that you love reading. Like, what book are you reading right now?
Well, right now I'm reading, I can show you actually. It's on my desk. Oh,
That's awesome.
it's called, I don't know if I bring it closer. It's called Buy Then Build by Walker Diebel. I don't know if it's a great book because I'm not done with it.
Yeah.
But it talks about buying a business and then building it up. So something I'm researching and I'm looking into, and that's, from starting this book, is Vision Thrive can be seen as a stream of income, all the websites and everything. But I think the best way to become financially free is to have multiple streams of income. And there's many different routes you can do. There's many different paths, but something I'm interested in would be buying a business and then building it up. And so I'm reading that book. Hopefully it's inspiring and helps me a lot.
I love it, dude. Absolutely, man. Multiple streams of income is the only way to go, man. Otherwise, you're just complacent and, you'll just stay in that spot forever, man. So I love that you have that idea of multiple streams of income. I'm the same way, man. You got to have that rolling in. I'm a big music guy. So what's your favorite type of music, or do you have a favorite band that you like to listen to?
I listen to all types of music, but I'm pretty basic and I like Drake.
Oh, nice.
And those type of artists. But sometimes I'll listen to classical music. I don't remember any of the song names because they're always like
super long.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Totally. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Dude, Eli, such an honor to have you on my show, man. I think what you got going on is absolutely amazing. You're an absolute world changer, dude. Truly an honor to have you on the show, man. Thank you so much for taking the time today, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I had a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much for watching the show today. I appreciate it. If you could, please leave a rating and review on our Apple podcast. The link is down below. That helps us get our message out, get the show out, helps us get ranked out there on the Apple podcast. Also, leave a comment below, man. I'd love to know what part of this show made the most impact on you. I respond to every comment on there. And please share this video, whether you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please share it out. We want to make sure that we impact as many people as we can with the guests that come on my show and highlight those guests and what they've got going on, and they're changing the world. So thank you so much for the time. So appreciate it. Have an awesome day.